This year we are celebrating Victory in Reseda's 15th anniversary, and I can't think of a perfect vehicle to celebrate this with a Lexus, because the first car we actually worked with was a Lexus IS 250C, and now we have a 2026 NX 350h F Sport. Sounds like an oxymoron? It isn't. Let us tell you all about it. I'm Randy Stern, along with George Torline, and this is Victory in Reseda. The 2026 NX has not changed much since the current generation's introduction for the 2022 model year. The brand spindle grille is prominent on a flat front fascia. The rear end includes an LED bar that bridges both taillights with the Lexus name displayed right on top of it. The silhouette has a nice slant in the roofline with a 3-glass side profile. Our F Sport test vehicle adds black finish 20-inch wheels and a specific mesh-type grille. The infrared exterior color adds more flair to this sporty compact SUV. Inside the NX is a fully digital F Sport specific instrument cluster that is customizable. In the middle is the 14-inch Lexus Interface infotainment touchscreen system. Other controls are exactly what you expect in a Lexus. Seating is upholstered in this two-tone circuit red and dark graphite new luxe material. You have plenty of space for 4 to 5 people inside. For hauling cargo, there is 22.7 cubic feet of space behind the rear seat. It is expandable to 46.9 cubic feet with those seats folded down. The hybrid driveline in the 2026 NX 350h starts with a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine with dual electric motors. Together, it puts down 240 net combined horsepower, a continuously variable transmission, and all-wheel drive. We would love to tell you more, so let's join George and Randy as they take the 2026 Lexus NX 350h F Sport on the road.
So Randy, we're driving the 2026 Lexus NX
350h F Sport, all-wheel drive. Look, I know it's a mouthful, but come on, we're talking Lexus here.
Well, that's how they designate not just the model, but the powertrain.
Yep, as well as the trim level, and of course, the final drive.
And speaking of drive, let's talk about how it drives.
It drives very well, actually, except we noticed a few things with the hybrid versus other drive lines. And right off the bat, you had a 0 to 60 speed of
7 seconds flat.
That's not bad. That used to be a pretty good time for a Econobox.
Well, it's adequate. You do have the CVT, so, and you know, the 240 net horsepower can only do so much. But
yeah, you wish there was more power underneath the hood. Now, this brings up one thing, is that there are 2 other drive lines that are available. You can go 350, which is a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and that's 275 horsepower. But on other trims, you can get the plug-in, which we worked with before, which is the 450h Plus. And that's the same engine underneath the hood, the same 2 electric motors. It's just that the battery pack is expanded. You just have to plug in, and then it will run on battery for X amount of miles.
and give you that much more power.
Exactly, 304 net combined horsepower.
Now that would match up nicely with the F Sport.
It would, but this is not an oxymoron. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, they have always offered a F Sport with the hybrid in the NX. So this is the 2nd generation in a row. So it's really nothing new to Lexus. It's just seems that there's some people who would like to get their sporty drive on with much more fuel efficiency, and this fits right there for them.
True, and you do get some nice appearance bits too.
Yes, you do. The mesh grille up front, the dark finish trim, the wheels. It is what you expect from an F Sport.
And these very supportive seats.
Absolutely. They're pretty heavily bolstered for what they are. Give it some time and it will ease a little bit, so you will start reading your body.
They hold you in nicely, so if you want to carve some curves, they're great for that.
Oh yeah, and actually you can carve some curves in this particular vehicle.
That's right.
There's this little knob on the upper center console that could switch the drive mode, and believe it or not, there's a Sport S Plus setting on this particular vehicle.
Oh? Well, sure enough.
Exactly. Now what that does is not only changes the shift points on the CVT, it also firms up the suspension and the steering feel. So if you really want a truly sporting drive, if you're going on the curves, that's the way to go, really.
Yes, and I can definitely feel how much firmer the suspension is on this road.
Oh yeah.
And also I get a tachometer on the instrument cluster.
Now, if you don't like that, you can always set it back to either normal or eco.
We'll go back to normal.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Especially on a road like this.
A little uneven, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still winter in Minnesota, so
Oh yeah.
pavement's a little uneven from frost heave and all that fun stuff.
And we haven't hit a pothole yet.
But carving the turns,
Yep,
very nice.
very nice indeed. The brakes. I like the pedal feel on this.
I do too. It's very linear. If you want to step into it harder, it will bite in and stop, and the regen is very seamless.
Absolutely. They've really been working on the brakes on these hybrids over the decades, and they finally got it down.
I would agree.
Now, as I'm looking around the interior, I like this motif. It's like a red and dark gray finish. I also like the aluminum inserts on the door and also the finish on the center console. Yes, there is piano black. You can't avoid that these days.
But there isn't much,
Right.
but just some, so it's not bad. The red against this dark gray is very striking, I think.
And you know you're in S Sport when you see that red interior trim.
Sound system is nice.
Oh yeah. It's not the Mark Levinson, but it sounds really good.
It sounds good, yeah.
Yeah. As controlled from this Lexus Interface 14-inch infotainment screen. You do have smartphone connectivity. You have everything you really need for keeping you entertained and informed.
Talking about the cargo space, now something I appreciate is it does have the power folding rear seats, which is an option, but it will power fold them down and back up again using switches in the back.
However, one of the complaints that I've heard is that it needs more cargo space. But then again, I always have to argue, what are you really measuring as far as cargo? Because the numbers seem a little low. A vehicle in this class should be offering maybe up to 60 cubic feet, but they measured about around 45, 47. I'm not complaining. It fits the rollator perfectly behind the rear seats when they're up.
Yet, for the vehicle of this size, I like this size point because I think it carries one or two people, or if you got a family of four, that'd be fine for that. And I think the cargo space is fine.
Yeah, 5 in a pinch though.
In a pinch, I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Now remember, the rear wheels are powered by an electric motor. There's no center drive line that goes back to that.
No, it's pretty much a seamless all-wheel drive system. Now, we should talk a little bit about where this sits. This has been, time over time, one of the top-selling vehicles in that size class and price point. So it's up against some serious competition. And that competition just keeps on evolving.
It's a very popular segment.
Yes, it is, especially if you are in the luxury brand segment and you just want an SUV of this size, where it gives you that balance of passenger and cargo space. Yes, you're picked for choice. And a lot of people usually fall on the NX because it does everything very well.
And you don't have to get the F Sport trim.
No. Even the base trim, even the NX 350 gives you everything you absolutely need. And there's really no skimping of features. But you do get more features when you get into the luxury trim as well as the F Sport. And the luxury and the F Sport are pretty much yin and yang in a sense. It's just that there's this however you feel about what you want out of the NX.
Now you mentioned efficiency. So fuel economy, this is more efficient than just the plain gas version.
Yes, that is why people go to the hybrid, is they want the better fuel economy. They want a longer range. And even more so when you jump to the plug-in, where you do have that extra electric-only driving.
So we're seeing low 30s with this, about 30 or so. It'd be nice if it was a little bit higher, but it has been cold here, so I think that might be a factor with the cold temperatures.
Yep.
But I think EPA is more in the mid to upper 30s.
Yep.
Let's talk about the power delivery. Because this has the CVT, it's a kind of a rubbery experience when you're leaning into the throttle. So it just has a bit of a drone to it, and it might turn off some people, especially if they're expecting the F Sport experience, which is more of a sporty drive. Yes, the F Sport gives you the handling, but not so much the acceleration and the driving experience going forward in applying power. So with that, keep that in mind for this particular 350 hybrid version. Okay, so Randy, in summary, what do we think of this 2026 Lexus NX?
You know, we've been working with NX since day one, both generations. We've had so many different combinations, even special edition packages. It still comes down to one thing. Premium luxury compact SUV customers want something they could drive, not something they have a learning curve to work with. And the Lexus NX has always been that vehicle. So if you are in that premium luxury compact SUV space and you can't decide which one to go, take a look at this, check it out.
In our thermal imaging test with the 2026 Lexus NX with the seats from the F Sport trim, we found the heating elements in the front seats offered good heating element coverage, starting with the upper back region, down through the center of the seat, and down into the seat base, where it expands to include the side thigh support bolsters. No heating elements were found in the side bolsters for the lower back area. Looking at the rear seats, they provided adequate heating element coverage down the center seat backs and bottom areas, with areas of emphasis at the lower underleg regions. The heated steering wheel provided mostly good overall heating element coverage around its diameter and thickness of the wheel from front to back. Outside, the side mirrors are heated, and the rear window defroster coils offer good heating coverage to the glass, including the rear wiper's park position to help the wiper from freezing to the glass.
There are 15 different trim levels available for the 2026 Lexus NX, with 3 power sources available. Pricing starts at $46,720. Our NX 350h F Sport all-wheel drive test vehicle came with a sticker price of $61,655. So, if you like what you watch, don't forget to click like, subscribe, and a notification bell to find out when our next video comes out. And don't forget to read our great content, our articles on Victory and Reseda.net. And we also got a podcast too. Thanks for watching.